up, all? Gigan, Quasi-Hallucinogenic Sonic Landscapes. This album came out in 2011 on Willowtip Records. And Gigan are a three-piece from Tampa, Florida, and they play experimental, psychedelic death grind. And this is yet another album produced by Sanford Parker. And those of you who watch my channel know that I love the work that Sanford Parker does. Gigan is definitely one of those bands where all the musicians push themselves really, really hard at experimentation, adding different influences, and just creating this whole feel and sound that can be really punishing to the listener due to its complexity. And I've been reading a lot of reviews on this album, and a lot of people are saying how difficult it is to get into. And I'm not finding it very difficult to get into at all. No more difficult than the more experimental side of Miles Davis, or even Today Is the Day. They have a sound that really challenges the listener and will require the listener to listen to the album repeatedly to just break it down. But this album, Quasi-Hallucinogenic Sonic Landscapes, combines psychedelic sounds with a lot of science fiction type sounds, like the type of sounds you would hear when watching Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey. Think of that film as well. Just all of these images flashing before your eyes, and they all create some feeling of unknowing, and you're not sure what's going on, but you just can't stop watching it. And that's how I feel about this record. I'm listening to it, and I'm not really understanding everything that's going on, but I can't stop listening to it. It's just the style of riffs they're using are very, very different than anything I've really heard on a lot of these tracks. And it changes up so very often, and we're often running in different paths. And they even throw in the closing track, there is a track that I would go as far to call a full-on post-hardcore type track. So they're all over the map. But as far as like catchiness and this being an album that you would throw on and just have a good time listening to it, this is a far more heady record than that. This is something you want to throw on and just engage yourself into and let it just devour you whole. I mean, there's a ton going on, and I find it quite cohesive myself. And all the elements, I'm just going to run through them. I mean, it's very experimental, very psychedelic. It's death metal, it's grindcore, it's spazzed out, it's chaotic, it's very busy, it's jazzcore, and at times it's post-hardcore. Very, very interesting, complex, heady record, and you should definitely peep this album out. It's Gigan, Quasi-Hallucinogenic Sonic Landscapes, and it came out in 2011 on Willowtip Records. And check out the description box below. I'm going to link some tracks from this album so you can listen to it. Interviews with the bands and live tracks, all types of stuff to get your feel of Gigan. So definitely peep this out. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time.